Welcome to LSB Feaster's Radio Aircheck and Classic TV channel.
That's Joe Jackson at KJR. From his Night and Day album, Breaking Us In Two. I like that, huh? It's 3:14. Good afternoon. How you doing? Boy, this turned out to be a very nice day, didn't it? I feel great this afternoon. I play lots of good music, new music like that Joe Jackson, and some old favorites, too. I'm Norm Gregory. I don't do this all alone. In case you haven't listened for a while, Greg Herschel will ride along with us this afternoon. Debbie Deutsch will keep us alerted to any commuter problems. Jack Mercer's got good weather news for us, I'm anticipating. We'll hear from him off and on throughout the afternoon. Ski Report coming up in about a half an hour will tell us who's operating when and how much new snow they had. And going to do a little reminiscing about the summer of 1964 in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's worse than it sounds, lady.
434 BABY. It makes a great gift.
Here's one of ABBA's early hits, in the U.S. anyway, came in 1975. Here's SOS at KJR. ABBA's SOS at KJR 320. Debbie Deutsch is here. Boy, practically need sunglasses this afternoon, Deb. Isn't it gorgeous?
It's a wonderful day.
Oh,
yes.
You sound so happy about
wonderful
it, too.
Day in the neighborhood.
It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Well, how are the commuters enjoying it?
Not so wonderfully. We have
trouble already?
Trouble already. First of all, a Pure 91 along the Magnolia Bridge, 15th Avenue West, our traffic.
Well, I hope you make it back soon, Deb.
Okay.
The end of the first month of the new year is getting closer every day, and at Magnolia Hi-Fi and Video. But hurry, the sale ends when January does, at Magnolia Hi-Fi and Video.
It's an offer you can't refuse from Metro and Godfather's Pizza. Show your waterfront streetcar transfer and get a free mini pizza when you buy one. Limit one per transfer. Only at Godfather's Pizza across from the aquarium. 322 Dolly Parton at KJR.
It's all taken and no give. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5.
Thanks for listening this afternoon. You got it on KJR. It's 324 and a half with Norm Gregory. We're going to take a 15-year trip back in time. Oh, farther than that. We're going way back to the summer of 64. Hang on.
Once in a while, here on Irish 343-9191. Pleasant Hawaiian holidays and the Royal Lahaina Resort. A whole lot of aloha for you.
Norm Gregory, remembering the summer of 1964 when Barry Goldwater was nominated for the presidency by the Republican Party. The Beach Boys had their first #1 song in the summer of 64 called I Get Around. Heck Edmondson dies. He was 77 years old, the summer of 1964. He was the University of Washington track coach for 35 years, coached basketball for 26 years. He retired in 1954. He was the father of the fast break in basketball. Not very many people know that. Of course, it was the summer of Beatlemania. The first Beatle movie opened up at the Paramount Theater in downtown Seattle. They had 3 LPs out and on the charts. 4 13-year-old Forest Ridge girls baked a 4-tiered devil food cake in honor of Ringo Starr on his birthday. They all belong to the Long Live Ringo fan club. They sent him a piece. Right in the midst of all the clamor over the 4 mop tops from Liverpool, 3 girls from Detroit had their first hit. The first of 15 #1 hits that the Supremes had at KJR. Where did our love go?
Baby, 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 oh, please don't leave me all by myself.
The Supremes at KJR, their 6th release, their first hit in the summer of 1964. It's 3:30. Norm Gregory and Greg Herschel here telling us that some people got an unexpected day off so they can enjoy the weather today.
Well, they're just little kids, really, so I don't know what they can do to enjoy this weather today. Over 400 of them from a Queen Anne area school got out around
TV. Breakdown hacks you. My love for Granadas, so strong and durable, because they made my papa tubophobia curable.
Feel good about color TV with a worry-free Granada from $13 a month. In Federal Way, call Granada at 941-9606. Haven't got time for the Payne Carly Simon this afternoon at KJR, where it is now 3:41 with Norm Gregory. I guess Jessica Lange was in town last night. Maybe still is around. I didn't see her. She was here for the Northwest premiere of Frances, that new movie about Frances Farmer, who grew up in West Seattle and worked as an usherette at the Paramount. That's why they had this benefit premiere at the Paramount Theater last night. I guess PI movie critic Bill Arnott thinks that the movie is based on his book, and he has taken the producers of the film to court. Looking forward to see that movie. It sounds good, doesn't it?
South Kent. A great waterbed set at a great price. Just $630. See Steena's unmatched selection of solid oak beds.
I've got some good news for skiers coming up with the Cascade Ski Report. It's snowing up there and it's sticky now. Here's Paul McCartney. It's 12 before 4 o'clock, KJR. You're listening to Norm Gregory and Debbie Deutsch here this afternoon watching the traffic. We've had problems already on the Mercer Island floating bridge. Is that still a mess, Deb?
No, much better now. Westbound I-90 coming into the city. We had an accident earlier on the bridge. It's all clear. Eastbound I-90 also quite clear now getting to the Mount Baker Tunnel. Not only slight slowdowns along that route. Eastbound up between 2nd and 4th Avenue. Northbound 5, some moderate volumes now moving into downtown Seattle at Holgate and Spokane Street. And out at Northgate and the county line, no major interruptions.
I mean, they actually try to open that West Seattle Bridge when I'm not on the viaduct. It seems like they always wait until I'm trying to get across.
They see it coming.
I know. Let's put up the bridge.
Here he comes. Quick.
All right, thanks, Deb. Here's the Cascade Ski Report now. This one is brought to you all by all 4 Olympic Sports Centers, now with the Mountain Shop at Northgate.
It's snowing at all the areas of the Cascade skiers at 8:30 tomorrow morning until 3:30 in the afternoon. Today they reported 30 degrees and 3 inches of new snow on their 148-inch base. It's looking real good for the weekend skiers. This is Maggie Duello with the Cascade Ski Report.
Brought to you by the Olympic Sports Centers in Bellevue, Linwood, and now the Mountain Shop at Northgate. Updated reports heard 24 hours a day on the KJR ski line at 935-7544. That's 935-SKII.
All right, you
And the 12-ounce peanuts are $1.39. Come to Pay and Save's 36th birthday party. Our savings are worth celebrating.
Looks like this partial clearing will hold for about 24 hours. Increasing rain chance by tomorrow night. Tonight, low about 40 degrees. It's 50 now at 9 minutes before 4 o'clock at 95 KJR. We're into a Thursday afternoon. It's almost 4 o'clock. We've got less than an hour of sunlight left. I'm glad you're there listening this afternoon. I'm Norm Gregory with Natalie Cole on KJR. KJR, Metro Media, Seattle, 4 o'clock with Norm Gregory. Here's Greg Herschel.
Norm, if you were a customer of...
Big Little River Band hit at KJR about a year ago. Take it easy on me. About 4:15. Good afternoon. Oh, I'm glad you're listening. I'm Norm Gregory. We have a busy hour coming up here. We're going to talk sports with Greg Herschel at 4:30. Debbie Deutsch, of course, looking out for commuter problems. Already had some Mercer Island floating bridge problems already this afternoon, slowing up some of the 60,000 vehicles that use I-90 each day. She'll be watching that and all the other freeways and byways and other routes home. Jack Mercer will have the weather news. We'll be discussing weekend weather conditions in about a half an hour, and that's also about the time I'll get you skiers thinking about fresh powder. And when I get the ski report up, you're going to love hearing about the ski conditions this afternoon.
The dogs kids love to fight.
Here's Juice Newton at KJR. Another one from Juice Newton, who's from Richmond, Virginia, I believe, in the heart of the night. It's 4:21. I'm Norm Gregory here. Difficult to think about summer on some of these cold, rainy January days. Today's not too bad, though. It's almost like spring today. Well, summer will be on its way here soon, and once again, KJR will be offering sailboard lessons all this week at the Big Seattle Boat Show. We're giving you a chance to win a free sailboard lesson. Enter at the KJR booth at the King Dome, or if you can't make it down to the Dome, send us a postcard here. We'll make sure you get in on the competition. You been to the boat show yet, Deb?
Not yet.
You like to go down there and fantasize about being first mate on one of those big yachts?
I would like to fantasize about being the skipper.
Being the owner.
Why do I have to be the first
Oh,
mate?
I don't know. No, I'm sorry.
Back off, Debbie, right?
No, that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't want to be the skipper. That's a lot of responsibility. Have you ever tried to get one of those things through the locks? I got out of that real good.
We have only slight slowdowns around Montlake East.
343-9191. 343-9191. Pleasant Hawaiian holidays and the Royal Lahaina Resort. A whole lot of aloha.
Ronnie Millsap at KJR. KJR 431 with Norm Gregory and Greg Herschel doing the afternoon drive here at 95. Well, the high tides and I guess all the rain we had in the last 24 hours means we've got some more flooding situations. Greg will explain it to you.
Yeah, there's some of it right now to talk about. At least a foot deep, maybe more.
Boat show, the Big Seattle Boat Show. It's happening in the Kingdom, so you can go to see the Big Seattle Boat Show.
Don't miss the Coast Guard's Boating Safety Workshop twice daily at 2 and 6 p.m. at the Big Seattle Boat Show.
In KJR Sports, quick, get a mason jar and bottle whatever it was the Sonics had last night and put the cap on and save it. In Detroit, they beat a basketball team that was supposed to be hot right now, the Pistons, and the Sonics beat them by 9 points. It was so different, as a matter of fact, compared to the other ways that recent games have turned out, that when they came back into the locker room after the game, Gus Williams remarked, "Is it just halftime, or did we really win this thing?" Jack Sikma was a big reason why. Definitely back to his old self. 26 points, 20 rebounds, 8 assists. He led the club in all those categories. And tonight, the Sonics try it again. They're in tropical Landover, Maryland, to take on the Bully Bullets.
And Saturday, they're in Cleveland, huh?
The matchup I'd like to see tonight is Lonnie Shelton against... what's the guy's name? Ricky Mayhorn?
Oh, Rick Mayhorn.
The guy with the elbows. He knocks people down.
Yeah, he's tough. They're a big physical team.
Lonnie will sniff him out.
Yes. If you'll pardon the expression. Western Washington University has a new football coach. Boyd Long, of course, retired after 13 years, and I think he had 3 or 4 victories over that period of time.
Hey,
sorry.
Be nice.
Hey, the program up there has fallen on rough times. Paul Hansen.
Who?
No relation to Danny Tartable.
No, was named as new head coach at Western, and he, where has he been? He's 31 years old.
Colorado, I think.
Yeah, Colorado. He's in charge of quarterbacks. He's always been an assistant. This is his first head coaching job. He's also been an assistant at the University of Illinois under Mike White, at the Oregon Institute of Technology under Don Reed, and at the University of Oregon under Rich Brooks. So, young guy, 31 years old, has been around for quite a while, so that'll be interesting. He takes over immediately up in Bellingham.
On the other hand, to the heights of college football coaching, about 4,000 people gathered today in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, paying tribute, of course, to Bear Bryant, who died yesterday. They had a memorial service, including a eulogy by a man who was a quarterback on the Bears' 1979 national championship team, Stedman Shealy, who was an aide to Bryant last year. He called the man a winner here on earth and someone who gave a part of himself to his players. A large crowd stood in Memorial Coliseum in silence as Bryant's widow entered the auditorium with members of the family.
Super Bowl 17, 72 hours away. Interesting verdict came down today. A federal judge denied the NFL's bid to block street vendors from selling items like NFL T-shirts, hats, and other merchandise. The league had claimed the right to collect royalties from these kind of things with the symbols of the NFL on them or its teams, and it says it loses revenue from the street vendors who use the symbols without permission. But the judge said the league's request would appear to invite catastrophe in the form of future legal problems. NFL lawyers have not said whether they'll appeal the decision.
Well, just as long as they're still able to sell drugs outside of the game, that's all that's important, right?
And next hour, we will be discussing one of the big sports questions of every winter. Who will be on the cover of Sports Illustrated's bathing suit issue?
Oh.
That'll be at 5:30.
Now you're talking sports.
Yep. Greg Herschel and Norm Gregory doing sports here at 95 KJR. Christopher Cross at KJR. It's 4:46, 14 minutes before 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon with Norm Gregory.
Ralph, look. Winchell's.
Wherever the card is welcome.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
This is KJR with Dr. Hook. It's 4:50, 10 minutes before 5 o'clock at KJR. I'm Norm Gregory talking to meteorologist Jack Mercer. Well, I had to take down the old high wind warning signs, and all of the preparations for the storm last night never really materialized, did it?
No, it's much better to take the signs down than to have them blown down.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Looks pretty good this afternoon. Satellite picture's beautiful. About 400 or 500 miles off the coast. Another storm system kind of swirling around out there. All indications are that we'll get some cloudiness out of that. Right now it appears that the only place to get some rain will be Oregon, and that holding off until late tomorrow night. So right now I'd say we're going to be in pretty good shape.
What about the weekend? Can we tell yet?
Well, I don't think there's anything serious coming for the weekend either. We'll still have a general trough, a low pressure situation over us, which means a chance of a few showers, clouds, and some sunshine. Temperatures still a little above normal, but cooler than they have been. Kind of a so-so week. All the nasty stuff's going to head south. Looks like the Super Bowl might be interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, haven't you heard the little slang phrase about that? The Super Bowl will be the Soup Bowl if it gets wet enough, things like that?
They may get some rain down there in Pasadena.
That's right. It looks like an increasing chance of some moisture on Sunday. That's not a forecast, but just a general kind of glance in that direction.
Yeah.
So that would be an unusual circumstance to have the Rose Bowl down there with a lot of water on the field.
Yes, it certainly would.
But that's a good place for it.
All right, Jack, we'll talk again tomorrow.
We'll take a good look at the weekend again tomorrow, Norm.
Time now for the Cascade Ski Report, brought to you by Stuart Anderson's Black Angus Restaurants.
It's snowing at all the area noon. Today they reported 30 degrees and 3 inches of new snow on their 148-inch base. It's looking real good for the weekend skiers. This is Maggie Dwell with the Cascade Ski Report.
Brought to you on KJR by Stuart Anderson's Restaurants. Fine dining with U.S. choice steak dinners and their lounge with never a cover charge. Stuart Anderson's Black Angus. Now it's time for a traffic update. Let's check in with Debbie Deutsch.
In Des Moines, we have an accident on the Kent-Des Moines roadway at 16th Avenue.
Travel dates and restrictions vary by city. Call your travel agent or TWA.
It's 4:55 at 95 KJR. KJR Metro Media Seattle, 5 p.m. with Norm Gregory. Here's Greg Herschel.
Norm, the waters of winter are adding up to cost.
Fleetwood Mac at KJR, Love in Store, another track off the Mirage album. It's 5:13 with Norm Gregory. Another exciting hour of darn fine radio programming coming up here. Greg Herschel and I will discuss the sports situation in depth and throw in a few comments along the way. That happens at 5:30. We're going to go back 15 years for some music and memory. Back to the winter of 67-68 here in about 10 or 15 minutes. Of course, Debbie Deutsch is watching that route home. I don't want you to run any more hassles today.
Would you like to get the...
Well, Mondays can be tough days, but you can make Monday night a great break with free lift tickets at Pay and Save.
Frankie Valley on 95 KJR. KJR 519 with Norm Gregory. If you're going north, south, or east, Debbie Deutsch has got some information that you might find useful.
And you can go anywhere you want tonight, really. Eastbound floating bridges only. Slight slowdowns on both of them.
Linwood, Bellevue, the Mountain Shop at Northgate, and the Bellevue Boot Barn. Olympic Sports is #1 in skiing.
Probably no more rain until tomorrow night. Yeah, we got some clearing spots here and there tonight and tomorrow. A little cooler since the insulation has eked away a bit. 38 for tonight's low, 52 again tomorrow. It's 47 now at 95 KJR.
Say you love me too. Why don't you answer my prayer?
big hit from 1967. I'll say a little prayer for you. 5:27 is the time. 47 degrees. I'm Norm Gregory with Michael Murphy on KJR.
Ignoring the dangers, feel like a fool. Learning new dances, it keeps me on my toes. Still taking chances, ain't scared to win.
Still Taking Chances is by Michael Murphy at KJR, where it's 5:30. Just got Thursday over with. I'm Norm Gregory. Greg Herschel is here with all kinds of good news.
Yeah, especially for folks who work for Lockheed. Don't ever sing when he's singing.
But he makes me sound so good.
Yeah, you're right, he does. Sports. KJR. Here I am at the college basketball desk this afternoon. As you can tell, there's action tonight at Heck Ed. The Husky basketball team's hoping to break their 3-game losing streak. They will host Stanford. And judging from Stanford's conference record, 2-3, they shouldn't have much trouble. But looking at Stanford's overall record, 10-5, they may have some trouble. Huskies, either way, their record's 10-8. They're only 1-4 in the Pac-10. Over in Pullman tonight, the Cougars host the California Bears. Of course, the big question there will be, can Washington State win without Big Guy Williams? George Raveling, the coach, has replaced his leading scorer with a freshman named Ricky Brown. He's 6'8", so don't argue with him. Cougars also will play that in Stanford on Saturday. A couple of wins for Washington State could put them in first place in the Pac-10.
Unbelievable, huh?
UCLA has 2 non-conference games this weekend.
Yeah.
Also a game at Royal Brome tonight. Seattle Pacific hosts my favorite school, Concordia.
Yeah, well, is the midseason slump over for the Sonics? I know it was just one game, but they sure look like their old powerful selves last night when they defeated the Pistons in Detroit and ended a 9-game losing streak on the road. Second victory in 13 games. A couple of lineup changes if you weren't aware of what happened. Lenny put in Phil Smith for David Thompson, and Danny Vrains is back, and Greg Kilser is riding the pines.
Riding the pines?
Well, it's an old basketball
You've
phrase.
been there, huh?
That's right. Everything's fine on the pines.
So they're in Washington tonight.
That's right, to play Spencer Haywood and the Washington Bullets tonight. And the Bullets just may be the right kind of team to play at this particular point.
Well, I'm looking forward to that one. Let's talk college football. First of all, up at Western Washington University, there's a new head football coach this afternoon. His name is Paul Hansen. Who? Paul Hansen. He's 31 years old. It's his first head coaching job. Up until this year, he's been in charge of the quarterbacks at Colorado University. Turning to the pros, the Buffalo Bills, of course, are looking for a head coach, and we're darn glad they are. Their defensive coordinator, Tom Catlin, has spent a few hours in Detroit with the owner of the team, but he says he hasn't been offered the job yet. If it is offered, they think it'll happen in the next week to 10 days. We don't care as long as Chuck Knox is here.
You know, one thing that I really like about Chuck Knox, he's an old offensive line coach. He was the guy who coached the New York Jets. He was Weeb Eubank's assistant, coaching the New York Jets line when they went to Super Bowl III with Namath.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then he went on and was the line coach, offensive line coach at Detroit for several years before he got the head coaching job with the Rams.
So he's ridden the pines, so to speak.
And I've always said that I think the Seahawks' biggest problem is the offensive line. I'm looking forward to the draft to see what kind of people Knox and his new staff pick.
Well, now let's get on to the real meat of the matter here, the real sports.
The model who will be on the cover of Sports Illustrated's annual bestseller, its swimsuit issue, that's their bestseller of the year, is still undercover. Even the models won't even know who will be on the cover until possibly a day before the issue hits the stands February 9th.
It's not Christine Brinkley?
Nobody knows.
I'll go on a hunger strike.
20 pages will be devoted to pictorials of bikini-clad models shot in the Caribbean.
My wife is going to be furious.
You'll have to hide this one from the kids. Guess what? Guess who's back? Cheryl Teagues, who hasn't been in the swimsuit issue for 5 years, will be included along with several other models, including Hillary Sapphire, who's 15 years old. Cheryl is 35 years old, and, quote, this is a quote from Julie Campbell, an associate editor who has organized the swimsuit pages for 19 years. She says she's 35 years old, talking about Cheryl Teagues, and in great shape. You don't have to be 18 to look good. Greg Herschel and Norm Gregory covering all of the sports on 95 KJR. Willie Nelson, feeling kind of guilty there, huh, buddy? Always on my mind at KJR 545 with Norm Gregory. What a terrific way to spice up your week and help out a great charity besides. Next week, it's KJR's Have a Heart Benefit for Muscular Dystrophy. On February 2nd, join Marion Seymour at the Seattle Hilton's Top of the Hilton Lounge for an evening filled with fun and entertainment. It's going to be a silent auction, some contests and stuff, all to benefit the fight against muscular dystrophy. So have a heart and a great time. Mark it down. That's next Wednesday, 5 to 9 p.m. at the Muscular Dystrophy Benefit, sponsored by the Seattle Hilton and KJR.
And help too. When a junior bowler comes to your door, please pledge as much as you can.
Not too much of a chance of any rain here until maybe tomorrow night. 38 is the low tonight with partial clearing. Tomorrow up about 52. We're at 47 degrees at 13 minutes before 6. You're listening to KJR. Classics 4 from Atlanta, Georgia, and their big hit from back in 1968. Everything's kind of spooky with a little girl like you. It's 11 before 6 o'clock with Norm Gregory and Debbie Deutsch. A traffic report now sponsored by Bergman Luggage, a Pacific Northwest tradition for over 55 years, and the most complete luggage store in the USA. Here's Deb.
We had a fine traffic night eastbound I-90, the reversible
Headlights and kills fleas and ticks for 5 months. The Hearts 2-in-1 Plus reflecting color. Now the Hearts Flea and Tick Killer can be a lifesaver too.
551, a Little River Band. Songs about the other guy at KJR.
When we walk down the street, I would tell everyone we meet, this is my girl.
KJR, Metro Media, Seattle, 6 p.m. with Norm Gregory and Greg Herschel.
One sign of the economic times.
So, and I do it all again and again.
Richie, the creative force behind the group The Commodores, has a solo album out now called Lionel Richie, and that's another track off of it. Remember Truly? We played that a lot. That's called You Are. Good song, huh? 6:14. Hi, Norm Gregory here. Thursday night. You're going to stop by the boat show before the weekend. It's over the 31st. We have a booth down there offering sailboard lessons. Yes, we're going to be giving away free sailboard lessons at the 1983 Big Seattle Boat Show. So enter your name at the booth at the Kingdom or send us a postcard here at KJR Seattle 98124.
Big pressures, the way you feel, Family Circle is for you.
Still only 69 cents. Check it out.
Back to 1972. Remember this song, Day by Day? Godspell at KJR. Dan Fogelberg from his greatest hits album, KJR, Missing You, 623 with Norm Gregory, down to 38 tonight. It's 44 now. Because KJR cares, I want you to know about a benefit dance this Saturday night. It's to raise money to help cover a very expensive bone marrow transplant for Jenny Harrington, a 4-year-old leukemia victim. Jenny received the transplant from her twin sister. The procedure was at the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center up at Providence, or is it Swedish? Providence. Anyway, this dance will be at the Crestview Center located north and east of SeaTac, 7:30 is Saturday night. You can make it by, have yourself a good time, and donate some money to a good cause.
It's sensational.
Second thought, just bring some of your friends. Not all of them can deserve all this.
Here's Foreigner from their 4th album at KJR. I've been waiting for a girl like you. Billy Joel's Allentown at 6:33. This is Norm Gregory at KJR.
And you know, everybody's talking about the good old days, right? Everybody, the good old days, the good old days.
Christopher Cross on KJR and his big first hit's called Sailing. It's 18 minutes before 7 o'clock with Norm Gregory. We get a break in the next 24 hours from the rain. Decreasing chance of showers tonight, partial clearing tonight and tomorrow. The temperatures 38 tonight, 52 tomorrow. Increasing rain chance again tomorrow night.
I'm Patricia Neal.
By any other airline. What else does the ad say?
Call Delta or your travel agent. Delta is ready when you are.
That was on the radio, too.
Here's Brian Hyland at KJR. Culture Club, the name of that British group. Do You Really Want to Hurt Me at KJR 650 with Norm Gregory tonight. Bob Brooks, between 7 and midnight tonight. Are you planning a wedding reception? Maybe you are the entertainment chairman of your class reunion committee or involved in planning a special party. You need some great dance music? Well, give us a call. We have a complete dance system with music for just about any occasion, and it'll be transported to you in the KJR Entertainment Van, which is sponsored by Sunkist Orange Soda and Mug Root Beer.
RCA Video.
For life, long life, energize me.
Here's George Benson, not the Seattle pharmacist who serves on the Seattle City Council, but rather the jazz guitarist from Pittsburgh. I know it's easy to get them mixed up. Turn your love around at KJR. This is KJR, a participant in Seattle activities for over 61 years. Look for us in your community in the KJR Entertainment Van, which is sponsored by Sunkist Orange and Mug Root Beer. Let's drop in on Debbie Deutsch and find out what those scanners and spotters are telling her about the traffic.
Very, very quiet out there. It's been that way all night. Eastbound 520 is the...
Each Sunday evening out at the University Unitarian Church, they have a lecture discussion program for single adults and those contemplating separation/divorce. Things get underway about 6:30, 7 o'clock. Usually break up about 9:30. The subject January 2nd is letting go. They'll have the director of the Unitarian Counseling Service in discussing that. You want more information, you always call the Unitarian Church at 525-8400. How deep is your love? The Bee Gees at KJR. This is KJR Metro Media Seattle. It's 6 o'clock Tuesday evening with Norm Gregory and Greg Herschel.
Norm, a couple of months back, we...
You and I, it's Eddie Rabbit, and the woman with all the hair, Crystal Gale, at KJR. 6:15, good evening. I'm Norm Gregory. Sugar Baby's still down at the Fifth Avenue Theater. This is the last week. It ends this weekend. Chorus Girls, Top Bananas, a gorilla on roller skates, lots of laughs, great music, tap dancing, fan dancing, fright wigs, sight gags. Sugar Babies has got it all. The stars, Eddie Bracken and Mimi Hines, capturing the golden age of burlesque. You'll laugh at the classic skits that has had America rolling for years. You'll hear some great old songs. Sugar Babies for friends, clients, or just for you and your sugar baby. Sugar Babies at the Fifth Avenue, 625-1900. 625-1900 for Sugar Baby ticket information.
I want to see
Don McLean's Castles in the Air at KJR. That one came out just about a year ago. Yeah, exactly a year ago. 6:25. I'm Norm Gregory. You can show your office just how much you appreciate their hard work by surprising them with a KJR coffee break. 3 times a week, Skywalker selects businesses to receive 1 dozen delicious muffins from the Muffin Man. You seen the kind of things they turn out? Delivered by Fleetfoot Max. Easy to enter. To send a postcard or your business card to KJR Coffee Break, Seattle 98124. Next week when Sky gets back from his Christmas holidays, he'll start selecting cards again. What better way to start off the morning than a coffee break from the Muffin Man, Fleetfoot Max, and KJR?
From 20th Century Fox. Rated R. Under 17. Not admitted without parents.
Now playing at a select theater near you.
The braised sirloin chips dinner at Denny's, where you'll like our prices and you'll love our food 24 hours a day.
This guy's coming to Parker's in about a month. Yes, Johnny Rivers. Here's his hit from '67, a Smokey Robinson song, Tracks of My Tears, on KJR.
Of my tears. Baby, 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 take a good look at this face. My smile looks out of place.
This is KJR. It's 6:30. Time for the Husky Activity Report, sponsored every night, Monday through Friday, here at 6:30 by the Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company, and featuring the University of Washington's athletic director, Mike Lude. Well, the football season's over with for another year, Mike, and the team has lost, what is it, 35, 36 seniors graduating off the squad?
That's correct. It's an unbelievable situation when you really come back and think about it. My golly, they have sure contributed a lot to Husky football.
Going to be some big holes there in the old depth chart.
Certainly have, no question about that. And I think spring practice is going to be really something that the coaching staff and the younger players are going to look forward to with a lot of enthusiasm.
A lot of opportunities.
That's right, a chance to make the club.
Now, when they start out on the recruiting wars, I know it's been going on for a while, do they look at that depth chart and find out what really the needs are and go after particular ball players based on that?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, right now, our coaching staff is looking very hard at junior college defensive cornerbacks because we lose a lot of them, and I know that they're looking for some really outstanding speed and people in that. So Coach James and his staff may recruit as many as 3 or 4 junior college kids this year for the first time.
Now I don't want to really put you on the spot, but there were some outstanding ball players that are leaving the Husky football squad, and I wonder if you have any way of knowing if what pro potential any of these guys have, the Scansies and the Stewarts, and maybe even Tim Cowan or some of the other guys.
Well, let me just run down some random names that some of the pro scouts have told me that they're looking at. And we have quite a number. Now, all of them won't go like first, second, or third round, but just going alphabetically, Anthony Allen, a lot of people are looking at him very strongly.
Yes.
And Dennis Brown, I know at least some of the Canadian teams and some of the USA teams are looking at him because of his great speed. Kenny Driscoll has a little problem with height, but he is an outstanding player, and he's on a lot of people's list. No question about Don Dowell because he has that great size as an offensive player. Ray Horton and Vince Newsom, the cornerbacks, have been looked at by everybody. Chris O'Connor has a chance. Paul Scansey, they've told me that rate very high.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of another Steve Largent.
Listen, he looks like him. He looks like him. He runs like him.
Yeah.
And he catches like him. Then there's Stapleton and Stewart, the outside linebackers, and everybody is looking at them in the pros. I said Stapleton before, outside linebacker. He's a cornerback, but Stewart and Caldwell I meant. And Aaron Williams, split end, has had really good ball games. Ray Kadich has been looked at as a defensive tackle.
Well, maybe it's going to be really interesting in a couple of months when the draft comes around to see how many purple and gold players show up in the NFL roles there.
Sure enough, and you got a guy like Paul Cody, really a great center, and Eric Moran and Chuck Nelson, Willie Roseborough. I could go on and on. We'll have to talk about some more of these kids later.
One basketball question that comes to mind with all these holiday tournaments going on: how come the Huskies aren't participating in one this year?
Well, the reason we're not in a holiday tournament is because we played in the Great Alaska Shootout to start this season, and had 3 ball games in Alaska, and obviously that took precedent. But one nice thing about it was that our basketball players, for the first time in our basketball program here, got a chance to have a little Christmas vacation.
Yeah, that's true. That is unusual.
They'll be back to practice tomorrow.
All right, Mike. In the nights to come, we'll be discussing gymnastics and swimming. Have yourself a nice evening, and we'll chat again tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow, Norm. Have a good evening.
Mike Lude, University of Washington's athletic director on KJR.
That's right.
And the Huskies, of course, headed for Honolulu themselves in a few weeks.
I have a little gold cap here, a golf cap, that has a big word on it, and it says Aloha.
You're all set, huh?
I'm ready.
One question that's come up: can you explain what the television coverage is going to be of the Aloha Bowl for us who will be over here on the mainland?
I'm glad that you asked that, because there are 2 sources that you can be sure that you can see the game. One is the cable. if you have ESPN,
Right.
if you get the channel that shows ESPN, it will be live on ESPN. The second thing is that Channel 13, the independent channel out of Tacoma, are telecasting the Huskies and the Maryland Terrapins.
They picked the broadcast up too, so and they will carry it live also?
That's correct.
Why didn't the major networks go for this?
This is the first year that the Aloha Bowl has been in existence. The major networks did not bid on it. Lenny Klompus, who is a packager out of all places, suburban College Park, Maryland, got the bid, and he put it together and he sold it to ESPN.
All right, well, we'll be talking more about the Maryland team in the weeks to come as we get closer to the game. And I hope you have a good weekend, Mike, and I'll talk to you Monday.
You bet. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend, all of you.
Mike Lude, University of Washington Athletic Director on KJR. Doobie Brothers at KJR is 644 with Norm Gregory. Over 135,000 times each month, people in our community turn to local food banks and feeding programs. Staggering, 135,000 times each month. This holiday season, you can help the hungry by feeding the Yes We Can food drive in downtown Seattle. Food collection sites have been established in dozens of downtown Seattle office buildings. To find out how you can help during this holiday season in more specific ways, 625-0755.
Gary, we've been driving...
Lunch or dinner, reservations accepted.
Waiter, we'll have 2 Garcia's chimichangas with a side of guacamole.
Yeah, and let's not forget the beer.
Here's Denise Williams. It's gonna take a miracle. Her big summer hit from 1982 on KJR.
Well, you're laughing at me. Well, you're laughing at me. Well, what you doing to me, girl?
KJR to Guess Who, Burton Cummings and those guys from Winnipeg. Their big 1969 hit, Laughing. I'm Norm Gregory, 8 before 7 o'clock. Let's talk about this weather situation a little bit. Now, tomorrow, the weather will be basically scattered showers with highs about 51 degrees. There are still high tide warnings posted 2 feet above normal levels tomorrow morning. Highs around 8 a.m. 2 feet. There are extreme avalanche hazard warnings up in the Cascade and Olympic Pass areas above 4,000 feet. If you are going into the backcountry, not a good weekend for that. That's because there's going to be a lot of new wet snow, which increases the avalanche hazard. Freezing level tomorrow will be back down about 3,500 feet.
On Saturday, December, the area's most respected TV news organization, bringing the ever-growing Northwest its most accurate, most authoritative news information, 7 days a week. News Center 5.
This is a song that just plays a part in a television program that I, of course, never have seen. Certainly heard a lot of talk about it. Patty Austin, Baby Come to Me at KJR.